Good morning, everyone. Adam with RecordKrate. Thanks for tuning in this morning to Record Talk number 3. We're going to talk about what you were buying 13 years ago. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is because so many people still come into the shop and they say, records are coming back. Records are making a comeback. Yeah, they're making records again. And I just smile and say, they sure are. Yeah, absolutely. But, got me thinking about what was I buying in 2011? Was I buying anything? So I want to go back to 2011. What was I doing? I basically was painting. Oh, sure, I would print and I would work with paper and I would teach a class here and there. And it was really cool. And so, but I wasn't buying new pressings. I think there was a band called, they were being played on the radio and I enjoyed them. The Field, maybe? And they were playing records. But in 2011, I wasn't buying vinyl. I wasn't buying physical media unless it was pre-loved. And so 2011, I started doing things like I would go out and I would buy records. I would go wherever I could to find records for sale. And I would travel and I would get in the car and I would come back. Either I would be out of money or the car was too full. And boy, did I have some fun trips there. I would take off early in the morning. I would go to Wilmington. I would go to Winston-Salem. I would go Greensboro. I would go here and there. And I was just out on the hunt for the records. And that's where I met Michael. I met Michael O'Connor. He's no longer with us, but Michael and I were record buddies for many years. I considered him a friend, but he's not with us anymore. He died, I think it was last year. And it was really neat. But in 2011, I found a list of the top 40 records that sold in 2011. However, I have not been able to find a list letting me know if it was on vinyl or CD or digital only. But that didn't stop me. I kept on looking and I was having a blast learning. I was educating myself, with this and all. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Hello, good morning. Oh yeah, we got to think about the people who are in the path of the storm. Helene. Yeah, I know that our buddy Calvin, he's, I think the storm is in Georgia at the moment, but he's without electricity, and hopefully everything's okay. He's sending me a little code. We worked out some codes like, if you're okay but you don't have electricity, number 1, number 2, things like that. So we have a little code, so he won't be using his phone very much at all in reserving the vinyl. Yeah, so it was really interesting for myself to research this and learn more about it. That's for sure. But when I look at the list, and there's a list right there, of course everybody can see it just fine. But it talks about, and I was surprised that I knew as many of these bands as possible. St. Vincent had a record called Strange Mercy. That was number 5 for 2011. That's what we're talking about 13 years ago today. Fleet Foxes had a record that was the number 1 record of the year. I've had that record before, Helplessness Blues. Car Seat Headrest, I've had that record before, Twin Fantasy. But I don't know in 2011 if this stuff was released on vinyl or not. So I do know that, in the 80s, when CDs were introduced, vinyl started declining in America and stores started switching out. And if you find a record from 1989, you found something cool. And if you found a record from 1990, woohoo, tell the world. And of course, in Europe and in England and the UK, things continued being pressed, and it was a different world there. Wish I was living that world, but I wasn't. I was here in America. So I do know that when I was in college in the 90s, what came into the station, the radio station, which I worked at the radio station, WKNC, and I do know that it was hip hop and punk rock 7 inches that came into the station. Rarely do I remember. I remember Sixpence None the Richer, the record they had. That I think it was a self-titled. It had "Kiss Me." Nobody was interested in that record. I grabbed it and I brought it home. Um, yeah, Alan Watkins, if you're listening, that was me. I don't think nobody cared. And so, I mean, we were getting a lot of hip hop, a lot of hip hop, and I'm sure some of it was R&B singles, dance singles, but it was mostly of urban nature. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming in. I'm Adam RecordKrate. We're talking about what were you buying 13 years ago? 2011, were you buying CDs? Were you buying digital? Were you buying vinyl? And if you were buying new pressings of vinyl, what were you buying? So back then, I didn't think much about vinyl selling, vinyl not selling. I was just thinking, oh, got a CD to play, got a cassette to play, and cool things like that. But it's interesting to think back on that. Some other records that were, or some other albums from 2011, Bon Iver, self-titled, Danny Brown, I don't know Danny Brown, Destroyer, Kaput, James Blake, which I do enjoy the music of James Blake, One-O-Trix, PJ Harvey, Nicholas Jar, Def Grips. I've never heard of the Def Grips. May have seen the name, but didn't discover their music until maybe 4 years ago, when there was a new title that was coming up, Tim Hecker. And so when I opened RecordKrate, looks like my camera was unplugged. There we go, we recovered. In 2013, I didn't get an account to purchase vinyl wholesale until probably 2014 or 15. And then the emails that came in were like 5 records, 6 records, 7 records that were released for the week. And cool things like that. But I do know that in the 2000s, we did have labels like Sundazed, and Norton was doing some cool stuff with reissues of things. I think they reissued some of the Link Ray and the Linkman, Link Ray and the Rayman. Yes, Link Ray and the Rayman was issued, and we had stuff like that. We had Rhino. I'm not sure if Rhino was a legitimate company in 2011 or not. I just don't know the history of that. And I was somebody who was just playing music and enjoying music and going around looking for records to listen to that I enjoyed, not thinking of reselling anything ever. But in 2011, when I started buying records, and I would go do pop-ups, I was like, yes. So that was really interesting. Who else was on the list? Top 40 records of top 40 albums of 2011. Tim Heckler, Shabazz Palaces, M83. Boy, I wish I heard of M83 in 2011. That would have been really cool. Grouper, Youth Lagoon, Giles Corey, John Mouse, Girls, Watched Out, Real Estate, Macintosh Plus, Tune, 3OCs, The Caretaker, Chelsea Wolfe, Bomb the Music Industry, Battles, Andrew Jackson, Jihad, Unknown Mortar Orchestra, The Weekend, The Roots, The Antlers, Colin Stetson, Joyce Manor, Metronomy, Yuck, Bad Bad Not Good, Neo Indian, and Tycho. Yeah. So some of this stuff I wasn't familiar with. Some of it I'm not familiar with today, and some of it I was aware of at the time. And it was only because of radio. I mean, I would listen to Pandora. That was a good source for me to hear music when I was out and about. And radio was a different world then. So yeah. So all of this was new to me when I decided to open up RecordKrate. I was familiar with a lot of classics. My whole idea was like, if I open up a record store and people bring me records to sell, I can get more records to listen to. And I did. And then it didn't take long before it became a job. And then it didn't take long before I became a slave. And I feel like a slave to RecordKrate. And so, yeah, there I am. But I would like to hear from you, whether you're at the live right now or you want to put some chat, put something in the chat. Please do. And please feel free. And help me understand and help add to history, documenting things for others to enjoy later. Yeah, so there we go. So what was the first new pressing that I purchased for myself 2011 forward? I asked myself, and I thought about that last night, and I thought about it. And I remember going to record store day and buying some stuff. I was on School Kids on Hillsborough Street, beside Sadillacs. I had a blast, bought some stuff. But I just don't remember my first new pressing from a new release. I bought some reissues of some stuff. And so that was really interesting for me. So there you go. Yeah, so I'd love to have your thoughts. So today is Friday. What's happening here at the shop? So far, so good. We're very fortunate with the rain and the tornadoes and things like that that's been predicted. No water has come in the building. I monitor that. I got here a little after 4 o'clock this morning. And when I did, Nico was just walking around having a blast. And but I'm loading up the truck. It's going to rain probably starting around 9 o'clock. So I want to get the stuff loaded. Got some records and some other equipment to take to Wake Forest. We're doing a work day there, myself with JA. So it was a week ago that I purchased this large soul, R&B, funk collection. And we're going to get those priced so I can get them on the floor and start making money. Plus, I got the ultrasonic machine that I'm going to train him how to do. And then when I emptied Edward McKay, I took away 2 CD polishers. Never used them. So today's the day. I took the small one. I think it's a JDB, JBD, I think they call them a disc refinisher. JB, see if I can find it. JFJ, Easy Pro, video game, CD, DVD. It's a polisher. And you get the compound. I purchased the compound, so now it's just a matter of seeing if we can make it happen. And I'm looking forward to it because I would love to be able to clean some of my CDs that I personally own, as well as offer that service to people. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed, it's going to be awesome. So there we go. But I want to appreciate everybody for coming in today. Record Talk. I'm going to try to do it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 30 minutes or less. And hope to be back next Monday. If you got a suggestion, please send it my way, a suggestion of a topic, and I'll see if I can tackle it. And we'll make it happen. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, and play lots of cool records. All right, go make it happen, okay? All right, see ya.